So in order to understand and improve our understanding of services, let's understand the characteristics of services and how they are important from a perspective of B2B marketing. There are 5 major characteristics of services, starting with intangibility. Services are intangible. They cannot be seen, tasted, felt, heard, or smelt before the purchase of the product. They are inseparable. Services are produced and consumed simultaneously. The production and consumption of services cannot be separated from one another, unlike physical products which are produced at one place at one point in time and consumed at a different place at a different point in time. Services, that becomes very difficult to do. Variability. Most services are highly variable in nature and therefore have their own degree of difficulty in marketing to the customer. Perishability. Services cannot be stored, and non-ownership, because the customer does not own the service that is delivered to him and there is no transfer of title. That results in another level of or high level of challenge in selling services to customers or marketing services to customers. Let's understand little bit of these characteristics in more detail. So let's understand intangibility of a service and how it affects us. Any product has 4 levels of a product. The 4 levels of a product are the core product, which is typically the core benefit that the product is designed to deliver to the customer. It has the next level of the product, which is called the tangible product, which is what you see of the product in the market, tangibly and physically, and therefore contains things like packaging, features, styling, quality, and brand name. You can see packaging, you can see the styling, you can see the features of the product. There is a third level of the product which is called the augmented product, and this is basically the layer of services which you envelop your product with to make it more marketable and saleable to the customer. These services are installation, commissioning, after-sales support, financing options, delivery, warranty, etc. And there's a 4th level of a product which is called the expected product. The expected product is the future roadmap of that product, or what form and shape this current product will take in the future. From a perspective of marketing, 3 levels are most important right now, which is the core product, the tangible product, and the augmented product. In any physical product, these 3 layers are always there. However, if you see the service has no second layer or no second level. It has a core product, which is the core benefit that the service will deliver to the customer, and it has an augmented layer. The second level of the product, that is the tangible product level, is completely missing in the product, in the service. So if we understand what is the marketing implication of this, the marketing implication of intangibility is that the customer cannot see, feel, understand, or evaluate the service. And therefore, our approach is to tangibilize the intangible, or we have to create the second level of the product to help the customer understand our service offering better, to enable him to buy it from us. Now, how do you create the second level? What are the strategies for creating the second level? These are as under. You make the service person or equipment based. So, for example, if you have to go into a hospital and you see X-ray machines which are paint is peeling off, or which are not in good condition, your confidence in that service that the hospital is delivering to you as a patient is shaken. If you you have, for example, a computer system in your office, and you call a computer mechanic to come and repair it, and that mechanic comes not properly dressed, not with proper equipment, your confidence in the computer technician's ability to service that computer in your office is shaken. And therefore, making the service person or equipment based adds a level of confidence, because the customer judges the service from the perspective of that person or that equipment. The second strategy that you can employ to make or create the second level is use of facts, figures and opinions. Facts, figures and opinions. In industrial marketing or B2B products, one very important fact which you can tell your customer is what is called mean time between failures, MTBF of your equipment. So when I used to sell UPS systems, we had a MTBF of UPS systems of 4.3 years, which meant that if you bought a UPS, the earliest your UPS would kind of fail was after 4.3 years. And that and gave an confidence to the customer to make the product sellable to him. You can use figures and opinions. So for example, when you want to go to a hospital, you will try and check on the, take a reference of the hospital, you will check on how good the hospital is, how good the hospital's doctors are, how good is their equipment, how good is their service. Any product, you will typically take an opinion from other people who has use that service. So for example, if you're going to a new city and you want to have a good hotel, you will ask people who have traveled to that city to find out whether that hotel is good or not. So you will use opinions to understand the product, or an opinion therefore helps to create the level of tangibility or the second level of the product. The third way of creating tangibility is use of technology. If you can use superior technology, you can create a second level and make the customer more comfortable in buying your products. Personalization of services is another method of creating the tangible layer. By personalization, we mean you customize the service to the exact requirement of your customer. Because the customer gets a highly personalized service which nobody else can give him, the tangibility or the importance of your service becomes more to him and therefore relevant from a marketing perspective. The other strategies for creating second level are availability. So services, if they are not available on time, are invisible. Therefore, quick availability of service is another very important method of creating tangibility of that service. So for example, you have a life and death situation at home and you have to get an ambulance to take your relative to a hospital. If the ambulance is not easily available to you, that service is invisible to you. However, if you call up the ambulance service and you get the ambulance in 3 minutes, the availability of that service in that short period of time, the speed factor which we discussed a few slides earlier, becomes a very important parameter in creating the tangible level of the product. Creating references. In B2B marketing, this is a very critical approach. Most customers will go and check with other customers of yours on how good is your product and service to enable them to make purchase. Stress on proper physical facilities. Physical facilities or the point at which the service is delivered is very critical from the overall perspective of creating the tangible layer. Post-purchase communication material like souvenirs, gifts, thank you letters and suggestion forms, a strategy which the airline industry uses very often, sending you thank you letters or taking feedback from you as a customer, giving souvenirs to customers with high flying miles or gifts to children is one method of improving these or making the service visible from the point of view of the customer. And price related to the quality or the level of service. Price is another parameter which creates the second level. If, for example, you charge a price X, you charge a higher price for the same service, the customer will feel that you're offering a far better service because the price you're charging is very high. So price has a way of psychologically creating the second level in the service.